All right, good morning. Welcome to another episode of Dreamer to Destino. I am your host, Julian Garcia Martinez, and it is another fun-filled week. Obviously, if you guys been keeping up on the Instagram, the social media pages, you guys would see that we have officially working on a new co-host that will be with me every week on the show. And let me just go ahead and say a couple things. This is someone I've known, for many years already at this point, ever since high school. He's been a down-to-earth guy and extremely talented as far as the digital media goes. A great editor, always tends to work himself into many extremely, projects, whether it's, running a YouTube channel and whatnot, or just doing some crazy and funny edits. That's going to be with me over the next couple of weeks, and up a couple episodes he's going to be co-hosting, at least permanently, for the foreseeable future as of now. So let me go ahead and introduce Mr. Fluffy onto the show. Welcome, my boy.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Pleasure to be here.
It's great to have you, bro.
Thank you. Pleasure.
And if there's any little words you want to say, introduce yourself to the people listening or watching on YouTube.
Yeah, well, real name is Oscar, but they call me Fluffy. Just happy to help out Julian in his adventures for Dreamer to Destino and any other projects he wants me to help with.
Yeah, and it's definitely great to have you, bro, because, like I said, me and you have talked off camera and whatnot, and pretty much the vision, and you seem to share that kind of same vision, especially, the amount of work we're going to be putting in, and especially heading into next year, as you're aware of some of these projects we're going to be working on, is going to be pretty exciting. And especially with everything we've done from going to Sick New World and, all the other shows we've attended as well, I think that you're probably like the best person to bring on board. And especially for next year, once we get everything rolling, I think it's going to be bringing more of a boost to the show. And definitely, we're only going to continue to grow. And especially from the Spotify rap that we're going to go over in a bit, there was definitely a lot of good changes heading into the next year. So I'm very excited to talk about that.
Yeah, me too.
All right, so
very, very eventful.
welcoming the guest of this week. This guy is someone that I've personally known since middle school, which is, almost what? Like maybe, let's say 13, 14 years, give or take. This is a guy that I've known since middle school. Can't say that our friendship really was all there in middle school because it didn't really, we really didn't kick off until high school, and that's when I can say we really truly became friends. And at this point, through all these years, we've ended up becoming brothers, along with, the guys and all our other friends. We've all kind of grown together, and we've never really left. Like you guys have always stuck around. So. And he's definitely pretty nerdy. Out of the group, I think he might be the most nerdiest of them all as far as the sports world, comic book world, whatever you want to call it. As far as sports, as far as comics, whatever you want to call it, he knows his stuff, and he's very passionate about all these things. So without further ado, let me go ahead and introduce the guest for this week, Mr. Oscar Suarez.
What's up, everyone? Oscar. Nice to be here. Thank you for putting me on the show, both of you guys.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
Honestly, it's just, I go by, I think it's two specific names with you guys. I think when I first met you both, it was just Oscar, and then you told me, you were like, specifically, hey, there's too many Oscars in the group. You gotta have a different name. And I was like, well, my nickname on PSN is Mosca. You're like, all right, Mosca, there it is. Like, all right. Mosca, here it is. It's just Mosca.
Yeah, you're right. And yeah, there was always like a confusion because when, you guys met, pretty much both of our friend groups would call you guys Oscar. And we're like, we have two Oscars, man. Like, we're not just going to call you, unless we call you Thing 1 and Thing 2. I think that's better. And majority, Fluffy already had his nickname by that time. So And Mosca came about, if I remember right, your uncle had given you that nickname. And since we were hanging
Yeah.
out a lot at the time, he was like, you know why they call him Mosca? Is because he's annoying like a fly. And that always just stuck.
Eh,
I'm like,
Funny enough, he gave me that nickname because I would follow him everywhere. And then as we got older, that's what follows me now. I'm like, are you fucking schmears? Like, it's like, are you really?
How the tables
But
have
it's
turned.
cool. Yeah, but it's all cool. It all came in love, no hate behind it. It's like when some of you guys use it against me, and I'm like, all right, all right, all right, it's too much, too much.
oh yeah, definitely. I think for me, it was just like at one point, it was just so catchy that I was like, all right, Mosca, all right, get it.
Mm.
It's so
Especially
we
you be
already
mad
had
at me,
Fluffy, we already had
Moska.
yeah.
Okay, hella
Definitely,
mad.
you've definitely had those. We've definitely had a lot of moments like that where you've gotten the
Yeah, I've
you've
gotten.
gotten the shit end of the stick.
Yeah, yeah, a lot.
All right, so we'll go ahead and kick off the interview.
Mm.
But the first one is, do you remember how we met? And this is going to be, obviously, do you remember how you met Fluffy and how you met me? Obviously, separate occasions.
Okay. Well, how I met you was really interesting. Basically, I was trying out for the soccer team in Washington. I met your sister, and I remember like I was like, who the fuck is this guy over here always watching me? Because I was always with her. Because I always just talk with her, and then she told me, oh, that's my brother. And I remember like I saw you from like a distance. I introduced myself to you, and you're like, hey, what up? We just got a little bit of chit chatter. And I don't know if I rubbed you the wrong way or what the hell it was, but I shit you not, I did just remember a story about you calling me the water boy. I was like, where did that come from? I was playing on the field. I was like, where
Just
did the
me
water
right off
boy
the
come
bat.
from?
Yeah,
Like
so,
middle school man called me the water boy.
yeah, so,
Great impression just right off the bat.
right.
That's what I'm saying.
So what had happened, I think I was like watching during the sidelines, and
Mm,
obviously, this soccer team was mixed. It was boys and girls playing against each other. I think you guys obviously were in the same team.
mm,
But I just remember, I think it was the coach or someone that always went to the games
mm,
because Abby wanted me to support her, and I was like, yeah, like I'll definitely go to your games. And one day, everyone was just talking. They're like, I think you and my sister were talking on the field, and then all of a
mm.
sudden they're like, "Oh, it's the fucking water boy! Like, get it, water boy!" I'm like, "What?" I was like, "Water boy!" I'm like, "Wait, this is a water boy?" I'm like, and then I was like, I just started going with that. I was like, "Oh, fucking water boy!" Like, like water boy, give me some water.
Get the fuck out of here.
They're like, "I want."
This is a perfect example of just following the crowd, dude.
Yeah, I just remember that I was like, water boy. I was like, damn, he's a water boy. I'm like, hey, shit, give me a water, bro. I'm like, your man's thirsty out here, bro. But that was pretty much, just what I had heard. Because, yeah, I was probably a bit of an asshole uh,
Oh, you
growing
were
up. So
100%. You
I
are.
definitely had that kind of attitude with no fucks given. So I could definitely, yeah, definitely just following the crowd at that moment. Um,
Mm,
so with that being in mind, that's how you met me,
mm.
and how you remember. How is it that if you remember how you met Fluffy?
I think it was you introduced me to him because I already saw him, and all love, love, y'all love, but I was like, who the fuck is this big guy? I was like, who the fuck is this big guy right here? You're like, that's my boy. I was like, who? Oh, he's like, funny enough, his name is Oscar. And I was like, hey, what up, dog? And we introduced each other, and I was like, oh, my name is Oscar. And you're like, oh, that's my name too. And I was like, oh, you have a different name. And then you were like, I go by Fluffy. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, cool. That was before my nickname Muska even came up. And then
Right.
I think I remember like, do you have another name? And then you were like, yeah, but I don't like people using it. And you told me your real name, and I was like, oh, cool. And I was about to call you, and you were like, do it. I fucking dare you to do it. And I was like, okay, never mind. I'm just not gonna call you by your real
Yep,
name then.
yep.
You're
I
like,
remember the
my mom
exact
and my dad
words.
can call me that name. I was like, all right, say
I was,
less. I'll just call you Fluffy.
I remember exactly. I was like, nope. I was like, I'll let you know, but do not test your waters, bro. No shot, bro.
uh,
Sorry.
oh my god. Do you remember any of that, Fluffy? Like, do you remember any moments from like when you first met Mosca?
Yeah, more or less exactly how he said it, but like
Mm,
from how he introduced himself. He kind of like shy-ish a little bit, but
Hmm.
at the same time, like back then, I wasn't really the same person as I am now. I was more like joking around majority of the time.
Right, right. You were like the jokester.
Yeah,
Some would
so
say a
like
prankster.
yeah, so I was like prankster,
So silly.
so silly. So, but yeah, I fucked
Oh,
around too much. There's times I couldn't take shit serious. But when we first met, that was the only time I would say it was like semi-serious because I didn't want it to
mm,
be like, oh, this guy's an ass of himself. So,
No, you're right.
mm,
All right. Well, that's actually a pretty funny story. For those
no.
of you guys listening or watching, um, here we go, leading up into the second question. But what
Mm,
was your first impression of us? And obviously, you can first impression of me and Fluffy, or even some of the guys that have
mm.
been on the you know episodes previously. So like Roman and whatnot, Brian, that you can remember.
When it comes to everybody, honestly, it's like first impressions with you. Shit, you not. Thought you were a dick. I never thought we would ever be friends, ever. Honestly, 110%. But it's funny how that shit works. With people you end up like not liking at all, you
Right.
end up becoming good friends with them in time. And
Yeah,
with
you're
you,
right.
I knew for. Oh, sorry, go.
No, I was just gonna piggyback on that because that's exactly how it was with Roman too. I think me and
Mm,
Roman, well, we discussed it in the when I had him on the show before. We talked about how for at one point, and we don't know why,
mm.
we just hated each other. Like I hated Roman. Like he just seemed like very you know like I don't
Hey,
know what it was
Paisa?
about him, but yeah. But I was like, bro, like what the
Mm.
fuck? Like fuck this guy, dude. Like fuck this guy. And then he would do the same thing. And at one point, he just started coming over to my house, and the rest was history. So, yeah, I could definitely get that's like some friendships definitely blossom from hate, which is weird, but
It's funny how that works, right?
it's a love-hate relationship right off the
It'd be
bat.
like that sometimes, though.
what about some
Fuck.
of the other first impressions?
Um, Honestly, from like back then, it's like I didn't really try chiming along with too many people. It was just mostly you, Fluffy, and everyone else kind of like alerted me because I never really tried to be their friends in the sense. Like I just they were part of the group, so I'm like might as well just chit
Right,
chat with them.
right, right, right. But
Um,
as far as Fluffy, I guess first
Fluffy, I thought
impression.
he was a really good person. I thought he was a kind dude. I was like, hey, this fool, like, if he really wanted to, he could eat me right now on the spot. But he did it though, respect. I love you, dog. So like, but yeah, like honestly, I thought he was a cool dude. I liked him from the very get go. I was he's probably gonna be someone chill. He's probably gonna be somebody that I get to like. Was like we've had our moments, me and Fluffy, where we do get like personal sometimes. We've had those moments before. We talk about our personal life, and there's certain things he told me that I would never tell a soul, and there's certain things I told him he would never tell a soul either.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And it'd be like, and same thing with you too. Like, we've had those moments where we had those like come to Jesus moments, me and you too, Julian. And, it just, when it comes to both you guys, first impressions were obviously with you, that you were a douche, but then in time, I was like, oh, this guy is somebody that I would trust with my life. Same goes for Fluffy too.
yeah, that's beautiful, man.
appreciate that.
Put it, yeah,
Yeah.
put it with some really
So
good
my
words.
mind was thinking, it's like he's a nice guy. He's actually an ass. It's like I lied.
A lot. Your
Fine.
last is fraud. All right, so that was actually pretty nice. That yeah, first impressions.
Yeah.
Obviously, apparently, I've been a dick for the last couple of years, so you know, it's
No, you're
not the
good,
first
dog.
time. Apparently, I've heard that people think of me as an asshole when they meet me. But,
No, really? I would never
That's
thought.
neither here nor there.
That's not you. It's never. That's not you.
It's never you, dog. It's always them.
Damn, for real, I don't know why
Just-
everybody thinks I'm an asshole. Like, all right. Anyways, before I continue to get flamed on here, we'll go ahead and move
Right.
on to an interesting topic. This is gonna be for us in general,
Mm,
but let me go ahead and start this. So, pretty much this is the week. Obviously, by the time the episode's out on Monday, which is tomorrow, it will be out. This week, as of recording this episode, Wrapped, Spotify Wrapped got released earlier in the week, and this, the yearly thing where it gathers all your stats, all your top bands, playlists, audiobooks, whatever case, gives you all your stats. See what your top artists were, your top shows, all that. Obviously, we all got our Spotify Wrapped, and we're going to be
mm,
discussing our top 5 artists, just so everyone that's listening slash watching is gonna be able to see what we got, and they could probably compare. And as far, I'm also gonna be mentioning the show because the show actually got a Spotify Wrapped stats, which I thought were extremely interesting. And heading into next year, I feel like this is only going to drive me to, continue the show, be better than I was this year, because this show wouldn't have been possible with everybody listening, everybody watching this year, and even guests like you guys, Fluffy being the co-host, and all the other guests I've had previously. Like, this seriously wouldn't have been possible without you guys. So before I continue, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone that made this possible. And I hope you continue to join me into next year, because I feel we're only going to get bigger, and we're definitely going to get a lot better, especially with this episode moving on forward, because we are using new software, which I'm excited about. So definitely going to be a great time. So before we start on our own personal Spotify Wrapped, I do want to go ahead and mention my stats for the Dreamer to the Steno show. Let's see, where do I even start? Because there was a lot. It gave me some statistics based on the age group. And this may be surprising to you guys, maybe not. We'll see where you guys think on the percentages. So it gave me percentages, obviously up to 100%, the different age groups that have been listening slash watching the show. From the ages of 18 to 24 years old, that was in the 1% percentile.
What do they know?
For the ages 25 to 29 years old, it was a wide 73%. So pretty much everyone from ages 25 to 29. Congratulations, you guys have won this one. This is where we go on up, which is, to me, this is kind of insane, but extremely happy that I even got these numbers as well. From the age gap of 30 to 34 years old was 14%. Then for the age gap of 35 to 44 years old was 8%. And then from the age group of 45 to 54 years old was 3%. Which to me is extremely interesting because, like I had said, probably mentioned it so many times over the course of the show, that the original vision for Dreamer to the Steno was nothing like what it is now. It's not what it was supposed to be originally. But, we've gotten this far, and with all this, uniqueness of this journey is that, it's episodes that are meant for everyone. It's not just towards a certain person, certain people, like a certain group. It's just, different guests. It doesn't matter whether, you're famous, whether, no one knows you. It's like we all different backgrounds, all different stories, and, it's like I said, these stories that deserve to be heard. And by everyone listening to this, it kind of proves this by these stats. So, yeah, thank you guys once again. And for the ages of 25 to 29, you are today's winner for the year. So, big congratulations to you guys.
Congratulations, dog.
Congratulations to you guys. Also, some of these other stats, which is pretty cool. Viewers also loved. So, this was the top 5. These were the top 5, pretty much, I guess, podcast shows that people listen to, which was also pretty interesting. So starting at 5, number 5 was True Stories. I'm assuming it's like true crime and all that whatnot. Number 4 was The Financial Audit. Number 3 was a Spanish one, which is called Leyendas Legendarias. So legendaries in English. Number 2 was The Daily. And then out of all the shows, I guess audio shows, probably you guys can go ahead and take a guess. What do you think number 1 would be? One of the most popular ones to this day.
Like just regular audio, just audio itself.
Yeah.
I like video, pretty much like a podcast.
Oh,
It's like one of the most popular ones.
It's probably Joe Rogan, I'll be honest.
And
Gotta
you
be.
you would and you would got that right. Yeah, it's definitely yeah. So number one was the Joe Rogan Experience. So
Yep.
yeah, a lot of
Mhm.
people that listened or watched definitely love Joe Rogan. And it also did give me the top three genres that listeners and listeners listen to. So that's the more interesting one. So this was only top three. Did give me a top five. So top three genres. At number three, I don't know if you guys want to take a guess on this one.
Top three genres.
What do you think placed number tres
Make true crime, I would assume. Something like,
for
I
music
don't know.
genre?
Oh shit! I thought you meant like podcast. My bad.
I was like,
True
damn, I didn't
Jesus,
crime.
know. I was like, true
damn
Listen to
crime
dog,
is
true
a music
crime,
genre.
bro.
true crime dog. It's gonna go hard.
All right.
Um,
It's an
I
episode of
would
Cops.
say like I would say like what, heavy metal or metal, one of the two.
That would actually be wrong. Buffy?
Mm,
uh, I would probably say hip hop, most likely, or rap.
that's fine.
Yeah. And damn, you're just getting all these ones right. All right. Yeah, number three was definitely rap.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, the genre, I don't whether it's surprised or not. Number two genre was emo.
Damn,
So a
Actually,
lot
yeah.
of yeah, a lot
I can
of
see it.
people listen to emo. And number one, I think this is my personal favorite. Number one that apparently everybody shared in common was new metal. So that System of a
Okay.
Down, Deftones, Linkin Park, all that, which is
Okay.
very very awesome to hear. Other statistics was 56% of you guys that listen and watched. 56% of you guys watched Dreamer to the Destino this year on video, which to me I couldn't thank you guys enough for your guys' support on the YouTube channel. It really I love the alternative to audio. I've talked about it. That video was my main thing that I wanted to do growing up, and just hearing that 56% watched Dreamer to the Destino on the YouTube channel, couldn't be more blessed. So thank you guys for supporting the YouTube channel this year on that one. And then these are some of the last few stats. We were the top 10 show for 49 fans for our first year, which is really insane to think about. We were the top 10 show for 49 fans, and we were the number one show for 27 fans.
That's pretty good, actually.
So
Not bad.
yeah, so once again, to those 27, 27, if you're listening or watching, like I said, gonna sound like a broken record. Thank you very much for your support and just showing some love out there. We'll definitely be kicking and amping things up for next year. So yeah, hopefully by next year we'll be able to have more than 27 and more than 49. And we'll just keep these numbers growing. So yeah, thank you again. The last thing for the Dreamer to the Destino rap was the podcast rating, and we got rated a total of 5 stars. So once again,
5-star Melter.
yep, 5-star Meltzer. Our first side. We need a
Hey,
plaque. We need a plaque for that, baby.
you need a plaque for that shit, dog.
Nice.
So yeah, really thank you guys for the tremendous amount of support. And looks like if this year told me anything, is that next year I definitely got to step it up. So, and that's definitely something me and Fluffy and the rest of the team, if we get any more members, will continue to do as we head into the new year. So yeah, looking forward to it. And once again, thank you guys for everything. We'll definitely amp it up this upcoming year for 2025. All right, so now that we got the podcast part out of the way, pretty much out of curiosity, what were you guys' top five? We can go ahead and say our top five artists. Mosca, you can go ahead and go first
All right.
for your top five
Um.
artists for the year.
I have them down here on my phone. I'm knowing by memory, but it's like Armado, Deftones. What's it called? The Weekend. And honestly, I don't know about these two because I only heard like a couple of their songs, but well, I kind of hear this one a lot. Motionless in White, and the other one will be Tyler the Creator. I kind of got into Tyler the Creator kind of this year.
Oh, okay. That's a pretty solid list. Which one, I guess, was your favorite? Like that you felt you listened to the most?
It was Eslabon Armado. I think I really got into him like 2 years ago, a year back, and what's it called? I don't know. I remember Weiss ended up telling me, "Hey, there's gonna be tickets for San Diego. You should get some." I ended up getting some tickets for that event, and it was me and my girlfriend at the time. And then, what's it called? The day we went to the concert, like the day, like I think like 2 or 3 hours before we went, I actually asked her to marry me in my room, and it's thank you. She was even
Just a
shocked.
golfer's
Yeah.
clap.
Golf, golfers clap that. I got you, Holmes. Don't you worry. Congratulations,
Yeah, I shit you not. Like, I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, we're gonna go to this concert, blah blah blah. It's like it's gonna be a great time. It's gonna be alcohol involved, so I'm trying to get lucky. And basically,
So I'm not alcoholic, guys. I swear.
it's only a problem when the bottle runs out.
that's what I've been saying, bro.
So I remember like, I remember like we got the tickets, blah blah blah. You know, and like 2 hours before we left, I was like, hey, close your eyes. I gave her the ring, and then like she was like, she didn't even know what to tell me. She cried obviously, and we and she's like, why give it to me now? And I was like, because well, we're gonna go down there, and I kind of like, it's more like it does like sad songs and love songs,
Right.
but I would make her like playlists of like love songs, and I would send them to her. So automatically, it was really something special for the both of us.
Hmm.
And yeah, I just thought it would be a great time because we're about to go see somebody that she's been wanting to see for a minute. I've been wanting to see for a minute, and we both like love his music, and it kind of sparked our love for each other. So it's kind of more like, yeah, I thought it was the right time to do it. And then also I was super impatient. I couldn't fucking wait. So
Yeah, well, when you're, yeah, you've never really been the patient type, so I
no,
could definitely
no.
see that.
That's the same thing she always tells me. She's like, I have no patience. Even when it comes to Christmas gifts, like, you want to see what I got you?
All right, Fluffy. So, I mean, that was a pretty interesting top five. Pretty good though. Yours was kind of mixed, so that's always good to have that variety. But
Mm-hmm.
as we move on, Fluffy, what did you get for your top five?
For this year, it's a very mixed amount, but for I'm gonna go from the fifth to first.
Okay,
So
perfect.
for number five was Despite Whatever's is Falling in Reverse, and then for number four was Slipknot.
Ah,
Number three, Bad Omens, and then the two that I'm listening to the most is Eminem and Post Malone.
very
I don't
interesting.
know.
Post
I don't
Malone
know why
being
the fuck.
number one.
I don't know why the fuck they said bad almonds. I was like, what?
Bad, bad omelet,
Almonds,
bro. Bad omelet, bro.
Like, oh, bad omelet.
Bad Almonds, dude.
So
The worst
mine,
nut.
I guess, mine's more in the metal slash,
Mm,
kind of hard rock categories. You guys know about me, and I'm pretty sure from all my shows I've been attending over the years. There was a band that I managed to get into this year by a friend that I went to a concert with. Her name is Lonnie. So
mm,
if you're listening to this, you definitely, I need to be thanking you for this pick because it made it all the way to number two. And I think on my Spotify thing, it said I listened to 155,000 minutes, which is the most I've ever listened to in a calendar year. So that's just insane number for me. And I don't know if I'm gonna break it next year, but we'll definitely have to wait and see.
Just
I'm
trying to
try.
listen to.
Consider out of all those 155,000, these were my top five artists,
Mm,
and I listened to a lot. So my number five was Ginger, that I managed to see her twice this year, which was, oh man, she's so amazing seeing live.
mm,
Number four was a band that we actually got into this year. Me and Fluffy saw them twice this year. This was A Killer's Confession. The lead singer, if you guys don't know, we just found out about them this year when we went to the Il Nino concert celebrating 25 years of Latin metal.
mm.
Apparently, the lead singer was the former lead singer for Mushroom Head, so that rings a
No.
bell. That I would definitely highly tell you guys to check out Killer's Confession because they are really good. Number three was the same thing as Fluffy's. We shared the number three spot with Bad Omens or Bad Omelet, whatever you whatever you want to call them. Number two was the band I was just referring to. That band would be Dark Divine. Definitely a good band, and oh man, even seeing them live, it just, whew, definitely. There's a reason why it's number two for me. So if you guys haven't, you guys want to check out Dark Divine, definitely highly recommend it. And my number one, which I saw, I just had mentioned it, that I saw earlier this year, was El Nino at number one. Definitely one of my favorite bands to see this year. Even though the original singer wasn't there, but you know, regardless of all that, it's still an amazing time, and I had a ton of fun. And then, is there anything else you guys want to add on your guys' rap? Any
I
interesting
mean,
little
I
stuff
think
you
for
want to
me would
share?
be for me the biggest song would be like, and I have to think mostly you and Fluffy for getting me into this band would be Deftones. I it all started with the dumb memes you guys would do about what's it called? What's that one anime called?
Griffith from Berserk.
Berserk. Yeah, Berserk.
Berserk.
Yeah, I was
Griffith.
like, I remember like you guys would talk about it. And I remember Isaac would chime along. He would be like, "Oh yeah, that's why I played Deftones. I played Deftones. I played Deftones." I was like, "What's and changes? Changes would be the biggest thing you guys would always talk about." And I was like, "What's so special about this song?" And you were like, "Oh, that's Griffith's theme song." I was like, "All right." So I gave it a try. And then I was like, "Oh, that sounds really good." And then I found out the fucking lore of Griffith, and I was like, "Nah, that sounds really fucking horrendous." I was like, "Nah."
Just giving you
But
the look, bro.
yeah,
Hey, before
exactly.
any of you guys start coming at me in the damn comments about this, I just want you to know that I attest what Griffin did, and I don't appreciate what Griffin did. And my boy Gus is gonna beat his ass. So if any one of you guys I hear, oh, Griffith was right, Griffith didn't do anything, you shut your mouth.
Dude. Not even that, bro. I saw some of your what's it called? Some of your books you have at your house. I was like just skimming through them, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna just close it up. I think that's enough for the day,
Especially the first one. What an eye opener that one is.
I think,
bro."
yeah, because I think the first page he opened up, I think it was a rape scene or something like,
It was
Something like
Griffith.
that.
Nah, it wasn't
yeah,
Griffith. It was my boy
guts
Guts.
as a kid.
Good. So I
I
was
was
trying
like,
to get
"What the?"
Pretty,
I
pretty
even had to
dark.
look at you, and be like, "What's going on here?" Like, read it, and I was like, "I can't, bro. I
Yeah.
can't."
Yeah, so it's pretty, you know, probably one of my favorite mangas of all time
Mm.
that I've gotten into, and I've gotten to a pretty good amount this year. So Berserk's just one of those, man. It's a really crazy story. Very sad when the author passed away, but yeah, I mean that's kind of crazy that that's how you kind of got your start into Deftones, and then I think there was like some wrestling edits that I would send to you, and they obviously had some Deftones songs, and then
Hmm.
obviously once you saw those, you were just kind of venturing out into your own.
Pretty much, I kind of got into them. Like, I didn't think the video you sent me was a hole in the earth. I mean, that was great. I love that one. Tempest, Cherry Waves, which is another good one. I think that's another one good one. I changed the hair. That one's really good. Trying to think off the top of my head, it just can't come to me now, but I'm pretty positive once we log off from this, I'm like, fuck, that was the name of the song.
Was it
But yeah,
Rosemary? Was it
Rosemary.
Rosemary
Oh,
is one
I
of
love
those.
Rosemary. It's fucking beautiful, bro. I think half of the songs that I've heard so far on my own have been all beautiful. There's some that I'm like, not my favorite, but then like out of one album, there'll be like 7 or 8 songs fucking top tier, and then 2 or 3, I'm like, not really my cup of tea. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, I really got into them really good to the point like I hear them when we play Helldivers, fucking zombies, you name it. I'm just hearing them because like I just love them. I love the to the point I think we've been debating on going to go see them, right?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
next year, they just announced
Mm-hmm.
their tour starting next year,
Uh,
so
was it with the one with Chino with the crosses, right? Should be the thing this
that
month.
was just happened. Well, there's a show that happened yesterday and today, so it's probably gonna
Mm.
happen in a
Oh,
little bit as of us recording this. But they
no,
are
okay.
playing as Deftones next year, so that's the one we are trying to see. We're trying to see Deftones next year. So yeah, hopefully we can make some plans, and then maybe we'll have you back, and we'll definitely go ahead and talk about the show. Cause oh man,
So
seeing
what
I saw
happened was
them
I
on the
got robbed.
first day. Yeah, yes, because the
Just
first year
got
when I
Griffin
went
suits.
to
Oh fuck.
Griffiths, oh my god. So the first year when I saw him at Sick New World, yeah, I was like not really, you know. I guess I was just waiting for System of a Down, and
Mm.
then they were already playing at the next stage since I was already there anyways. And oh man, they're amazing, seeing live. So it's definitely one that I don't think you guys would regret. So hopefully next year you guys amp up and definitely check out Deftones because they're an amazing band, even for this
Amazing.
day and age. All right, so I think that wraps it up for our Spotify Wrapped for 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, we get to stick around for another year and see how 2025 looks, especially with the music world being ever so changing.
Yep.
All right, as we move on, finally we're gonna ask you some questions. Some of the stuff you're very passionate about. One of them being into wrestling. That's kind of how our friendship
No, no,
started.
no, false
you,
accusations.
you lying ass
False
motherfucker. I
accusations.
like how he says false accusation when he has a Cody Rhodes flag behind him.
Oh shit, damn, shit. It's not mine. I'm holding
So,
it for a friend.
I hung it up for our friend. He wanted me to hold it for him.
Yeah, I was like, hey, I'll prestige condition, dog. I won't even touch you.
right, that's why you have it hanged on the wall. All
Stop
right,
moving over
but
like that.
so on to the next question. What is it that what was it that got you into wrestling?
That's a really good question. I mean, it's always been around me my whole life since I was a kid because my uncle was into it, my grandpa was into it, so it was kind of always all around me. But as a kid, I never was really into it. Like, I would say, like, what? I finally got into the product, I would say 20, like, what, 2004 or 5, around that time. That's when I kind of got into the product itself. That's when I kind of was able to understand it more. Um, I just remember, like, what my parents told me, oh, yeah, we took you to Raw once. I was like, when the fuck was that? And they're like, oh, in 2001. I was like, I'm not going to have no memory of that whatsoever. So I wouldn't even remember. And then they were like, yeah. And I guess, like, as time went on, I kind of got into it because even my dad and my uncles would watch it too. So it was kind of always all around me. And I kind of always, like, I liked certain people when I was watching it. Like, as a kid, I thought Rey Mysterio was pretty cool because of the whole mask luchador. And, like, I'm really big on, like, Mexican people. I'm like, oh, like, have my full support. And that's, like, I think he was the first one that she did like as a kid. And then, like, basically, like, or then as I got older, I basically, like, 2004, I thought RVD was pretty cool. I liked them a lot. And then I think what finally got me hooked and sinkered was, like, when John Cena went from, like, he left SmackDown to come to Raw for the draft. And then that's when I was like, oh shit, who the fuck is this? Like, I like his belt, I like the spinner belt. I like his whole, like, his persona, his character, everything about him. And that's when I kind of just synced it. Basically, I just sink my teeth into it even more.
Right. Interesting. So, and that's always one of the funny things too that when we first started finding out that we were both into wrestling, just kind of when we started, is
Mm-hmm.
that we were kind of the opposites. So obviously,
Mm-hmm.
when you grew up and your family got you into it, I guess
Mm-hmm.
you were really only watching the Raw show, which was on Monday nights. And
Mm-hmm.
meanwhile, I was the opposite, where I was only strictly watching SmackDown, and that's two different, completely different shows. Which one was more like, I guess, story based, if you want to call it. The other one was more
Mm-hmm.
wrestling based.
The like, right off the bat, we kind of both I've noticed it. Like, you even told me too. You're like, yeah, you mostly like the story aspect of it more than you do the wrestling. And I was like, yeah, I like the storytelling. And you're more into, like, the nonstop action because that's kind of like with both of our eras were kind of more different. Mine was more like 3 or 4 hour promos, and yours were like wrestling for 2 or 3 hours.
Right, exactly, and
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of the same thing with everybody. Everyone has different tastes, whether you love storytelling or where you actually love watching professional wrestling. Luckily, in this day and age, there's multiple companies, and they all offer different things. So, like, it's right now in this current era, it's no longer just watching, I guess, WWE. Yeah, it's still the number one and like the most popular, but now there's so many companies that are rising up that's like
Mm-hmm.
you can technically watch anything, like whatever you want to watch, whether it's stuff for like deathmatch wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
comedy wrestling, I guess you could call it, or just even like the story based or professional wrestling aspect of it. There's something for everyone. Just depends on what you're into.
Mm-hmm.
So So you mentioned about how you got your start and how you started watching wrestling because of your family. What is it about wrestling that still has you invested to this day? Because as we all know, you're probably the one that keeps up with it the most, and you still watch the shows weekly as much as you can. If you're watching the weekly clips and whatnot. What is it about the current? What is it about wrestling that still has you invested to this day?
It's more like just the story, the storytelling, and just like the fact that there's people that I saw as a kid, now they're back now in the company, and they're meshing with these new young bucks. Basically, it's like I like it. Like what's it called? Like a good example would be like how Cody rose. He left. Obviously, nobody thought he would make anything of himself. He became a big indie star. Then he rose into popularity more in Bullet Club. AEW became a thing. He came back to WWE, and now, you know, undisputed world champion at this point. It's more just like storytelling. I just like it a lot. It's just for me. It's like storytelling and it's just building up because I was more, me and you were watching it from like when it was kind of becoming more boring and more repetitive, more like garbage. We all knew for a fact that there were certain people on the roster that if you give them the time to shine, they could basically be great. And then for me, I just never gave up on the product at all. I just always had faith in it no matter what. It was a crap for a couple of years, but I still had faith in the product always.
That's awesome. So it's still pretty much the storytelling that just kind of keeps you invested into the
Mm-hmm.
product. So with that being said, what are your current thoughts on the product? Like I know, compared to years ago to now, even the change from like 2015 or even more. So
Mm-hmm.
from people that watched it maybe even years before, maybe like 2008 was their last year, whatever the case.
Mm-hmm.
What are your current thoughts on the product right now? With now it being, I guess, super popular again, like and now blown up. They're getting the Netflix deal.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing all these amazing things. So I guess what are your current thoughts on the product?
Oh, expensive as fuck. Expensive. Really expensive. I kind of liked it better when nobody was around, bro. It was way cheaper.
Oh my
Um,
god.
I mean, but we've already had this chit chat multiple times. It's just like, we're like, you try to get me to see like the brighter side of it, and I'm like, nah. But it's more from my perspective. It's just like, yeah, it's really good. It boomed in popularity again back in like '39. Sorry, WrestleMania '39 when they came to Los Angeles, and
2004.
automatically I knew for a fact it was going to be something big because that's like the first time coming to LA in a long time. Um, Lucky enough, you were there to go. You went there and you experienced your first
Yes.
WrestleMania ever, and you told me it
Hmm.
was nothing like. You said words couldn't even describe the feeling of even being there. You just had to be there.
Yeah, definitely. Especially for
And
the ending too. It was great.
hmm shut up. So basically, so yeah, so I'm saying like, I mean, honestly, I think I'm happy. I'm happy it's becoming more mainstream to the point like one of my favorite like what's it called companies that I like, or, like clothing companies I like, is Primitive. And all of a sudden, like once WWE boosted in popularity, now they started making it collabs even with them now. So now you see like WWE like their clothing, like you'll see them at the Tidleys, the Doomies, or basically like somewhere you would never ever see them beforehand.
Right.
And I was like, all right, the fuck. Or now they're collabing with like big companies, and I was like, first of all, I like it. Second of all, it's expensive as shit. I'm not paying that much money for a T-shirt. Um, but it's like it's not even that. Then for tickets, I'm like, I remember when I went to day one, what's it called this year, and I was like, hey, cool, just 3 tickets. I remember I paid like 270 something, and then now, but like you were saying, it boosted in popularity, and now everybody and their mom wants to be there now. To the point for like for Raw, because like basically I got it for the sixth when they're moving to Netflix.
Right.
That's like a big ordeal.
Hmm.
And I remember it was like $717 for 3 tickets, and I was like, man, do I really want to go?
I guess it just
And then
depends how
they
much you like the product, right?
and then when they advertised, oh, it's gonna be John Cena's gonna be there, I'm like, at the cart.
Be broke for like the next 2 weeks.
Dead ass, bro. I shit you not. I was living off of ramen and shit. Like I could not.
Top ramens.
I was like, nah. My friends at work were like, hey, you trying to go to Chipotle? I was like, you got Chipotle money? Because I don't.
For me, not for you. For me.
Yeah, for
Exactly.
me.
I'm cool with my ramen.
Yeah,
Just dry
you
too,
can
not even water.
right
And
dry
it adds
ass
more
Rona.
flavor.
Just the
That's
little packets on
crazy.
top.
Not even couldn't even afford the Jack in the Box Rona meal. That's crazy.
Shut the fuck.
Crazy. Couldn't be me. Anyways,
But mm,
but that is a very interesting take, at least for you, yeah, because
mm,
I understand it, right? Like if you've
mm,
been a product of for quite a long time, and the
mm,
only thing you want to do is see the product get better, and it has, especially with this new era that it seems to be launching, and obviously they might feel, for me it's like whatever because I just don't watch as much,
mm,
but I do. I'm like, for me at least, it's like as it can only make it better. More eyes on the product, more people enjoying it. Kind
mm.
of back in its heyday, I feel like that's the most important part. Because at one point, I feel like wrestling was dying.
It
But
was to the point I didn't think it would even last this long.
right. So I'm like the fact that it's gotten this crazy. It's kind of just proves a testament for all the hard work everyone's done to keep it
No,
afloat,
100%.
and now everyone can enjoy the full finished product, and for many more years to come, hopefully.
I hope so.
All
But
right. So
yeah,
so um, so we already got you what your current thoughts are.
mm,
Obviously, it couldn't have been easy. Saying
mm,
you were a wrestling fan back then, though,
mm.
I'm sure you probably got your fair share of like getting shit talked or getting teased for liking wrestling. Saying, "Oh, it's you watch that fake crap," all or whatnot. I'm pretty sure you got plenty of those people. What was that like for you when
First
you
of
were
all,
growing up?
they can go eat a dick for all I care. Um, I mean, the thing that always caught me, that always got me. I'm not gonna lie, like it used to get me so riled up until I met Julian. Julian was the one like, "Hey, bro, like it is what it is." But there's always gonna be people like that. Was when like people would tell me like, "Oh, it's fake. It's fake. It's fake," and I'd be like, "Yeah, no shit, dipshit. I know it's fucking fake. It's not fake. It's fucking predetermined. Like, do you already know who's gonna win? But there's a story in the ring. That's about it. Like you'll see, and I'm pretty positive you can even attest to this too, Julian. Like many of our favorites have gotten hurt in the ring, and they still they still finish the match.
Right.
And not even that, we have lost many people due to stuff like that. Like the biggest one would be for you would be Eddie.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah,
think,
Eddie was probably the worst one.
yeah, and he was like what he loved the sport to death, and then obviously what he did to himself. I mean, I do I agree with it? No, but who the fuck am I to judge him? But yeah, it took a toll on his body, and one day his heart just gave out. And not even that, another one, a more controversial person would be Chris Benoit because of CTE.
Hmm.
And we both agreed to it. Phenomenal wrestler in the ring, phenomenal, great, talented. Fuck, sky's the limit to this guy. But his actions outside of the ring, it's like fuck.
Yeah, that's one that because for me, I've always
Mm,
been like a Chris Benoit fan.
mm,
When I was little, and then obviously when you're little, you didn't really understand it. You just knew, oh, he kind of passed, and then when you really figure out why, it's like, damn, that's like extremely fucked up. But for me, I just can't take away the fact that what he did, and it's like, but at the same time, it's like he was one of the best wrestlers in the world, and maybe like even by today's standards, he still holds up as one of the best, like technical wise. Like there was no one like
mm,
that guy, and Eddie for the matter of fact, and they had like the most perfect wrestling ending
mm.
that anyone could ever think of.
Oh
And
yeah, they
it's
both could have
always
basically
overshadowed
retired that
that
day.
WrestleMania. Yeah, WrestleMania 20 was like the most perfect WrestleMania ending, and now with that happening, it's kind of more like a something that nothing ever gets brought up, and if anything, it tends to get replaced with like Cody finishing the story,
Hmm.
not in the same way, but or even the thing at WrestleMania 30 where Daniel Bryan
Hmm.
won the title under the same circumstance, triple threat, whatnot, whatever you want to call it.
Hmm.
So
I think that's why you were
yeah,
super against Daniel Bryan. Against that whole story. I think
yeah,
that's why
because I
you're
just
super
felt like they
against
were
it.
just trying to erase the ending of 20, and obviously,
Nah.
like I said, I understand
Mm,
it, but I understand why, but
mm,
just kind of it's like if you were there for 20 and that was your favorite. At least for me, it's still my favorite Mania.
Mhm.
This 20 is just like, damn, like you're gonna dog on it that bad that you're gonna just, I guess, rewrite it. And I don't know.
Mm.
To me, it just didn't feel the same, knowing well what I knew and what I grew up with. So
Yeah, no, and I get that. I get like I wasn't really like I didn't care too much about the whole like Chris Benoit story going on at the time. And then me, I was super invested in Daniel Bryan's story, and I was like super with it. You were against it because you were like just erasing it from history. You hated the fact they were erasing somebody who worked their ass off to get to that moment. He got that moment. He got his time in the sun, and because of what he did, it was just like that. Basically, put a dark cloud on his career to the point nobody really wants to mention him at all.
yeah, but you know,
Even when we
like
went to
everything
AEW,
happens
remember the
for a
time?
reason. Yeah, but everything
You
happens
remember we
for
went
a
to
reason.
AEW and we were like, and then some guy behind us chanted Chris Benoit, and then this couple in front of us were like, hey, like calm down, calm down.
Yeah, yeah, because it's like obviously you don't want to glorify the guy,
Hmm. We're not
but
really glorifying him. We can just we both even agreed like what he did outside the ring, he's a piece of shit for that. But in the ring, hands down, one of the top 5 performers to ever step in the ring, no matter what.
yeah, just depends on your perspective. Because
Mm-hmm.
yeah, some people can't separate the art from the artist.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's just some people that don't do that. But for the people that do, they can separate the art from the artist. So it just depends where you stand on that spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll leave it at that as far as the Chris Benoit, because that era was pretty dark. That was pretty dark.
It was dark. It
So
was dark. It was dark.
all right. But
Darkness.
other than that, I guess what was it more like? Like how did you handle getting teased for all that?
I would get into
Like it
like a
was.
lot of like I'm sorry, I would get into like back and forth with like kids, and then in middle school I kind of hit it more, but like in elementary I kind of was okay with showing it off. I had T-shirts and stuff like that. I remember like I would always there would be like 1 or 2 people that like actually be in the like would actually like watch Raw and SmackDown, and I
Right.
would always talk to them about it, what's going on in the product, and then you would have people who would just looked at us like we have fucking mocos coming out of our assholes or something, bro. Like they just looked at us all weird, like what the fuck. But now they're talking about fucking what's it called, like Star Wars or some other goofy shit back then. I hated it. I thought that shit was stupid.
Yeah, no, for
And then
sure.
I'd be like, so I mean, and then they would make fun of me, saying, "Oh, you're watching grown ass men and fucking thongs touching each other." I'm like, I mean, they're called tights, by the way, but okay, get your shit right. But it's like they never understood it from my perspective because they're not me, and I
Right.
never understood it from their perspective because I'm not them. But
Uh,
to me, it would be a lot of fights, a lot of like I would mimic some of the stuff they would do, and like some of their hand gestures or movements that suck. And I'm pretty positive people all got in trouble by doing that multiple times at school.
Yeah, I got a pink slip for
Um,
that.
and then like, and then I just remember like all that shit happening, and then people would just always look at me differently. Some of my teachers were like, "Yo, if you never grew up in this phase, like." You're never gonna find anyone. You're probably gonna be. You're not gonna have that many friends. Blah 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 blah. But jokes on you, bitch. I'm engaged. And I got friends who pick on me 24/7.
well, because I like to say one thing about that, because I was
Mm,
one of those guys who didn't necessarily believe in the whole like story or aspect of wrestling, especially like how you guys are passionate about it.
mm,
And it wasn't until because how you mentioned before with Bullet Club, how
mm,
Julian he wore a lot of Bullet Club and asked him who
mm,
they were, and that was what kind of like sparked that whole like getting into the wrestling thing. Because I'm not as big as you guys are, but I do
mm,
appreciate how it is and how they perform, and it's actually entertaining if you give it a chance, especially like the
mm.
story building and everything. That's one thing I would say because those who don't like still think the same thing that it's fake or whatever stuff like that, just give the story a shot or like at least look at the aspect of how much work they put into it. It's entertaining for sure.
Yeah, and you guys hit the nail on that. And obviously, for those of you kids that aren't familiar with Bullet Club or whatever we're talking about right now, pretty much what these guys are referring to was probably a little bit before 2015 was when this started. Was the start of Bullet Club, and I was big, so how me and Most could started talking about wrestling. He only watched WWE, and I'm sure that's the
Mhm.
case with a lot of you guys listening. That you guys probably only know WWE or WCW if you guys were old enough and were a part of those old days. But there are other wrestling promotions around the world, and the one that got me, I was really into besides the WWE, was a promotion in Japan, one of the biggest ever, probably the number one right there is New Japan Pro Wrestling, and that's the one where Bullet Club came from, and to me, I think was the most peak like professional wrestling. I mean, the stories were there, but obviously the commentary was in Japanese, so most of the time I was just there for the wrestling, man, and just seeing these guys being badass in a big group, throwing up the two sweets, talking trash, beating the fuck out of everyone, like, having the gold on their, having the big gold on their fucking waist, like one of the most, having one of the most
Yeah.
prestigious championships in the world that you could get your hands on, and yeah, once these guys started seeing it, they were like, "Holy shit! Like this is incredible." And it was just like that for the next couple of years because they just, in that term, they said they ruled the world, and for a couple of years they did, to the point where they even got, like I said, these guys were all from Japan, and to the point where it blew up so much that they got their own like Hot Topic deal, and you would start seeing Bullet Club T-shirts all over Hot Topic and whatnot. So it was just an insane era at that time, and it's just kind of a amazing story that you just had to be there for.
I should you not think when like the whole like bullet thing, hot topic thing started. I that's like me. I was like me too. When we were at the mall, and I was like, oh shit, like like I was like looking for shirts and I couldn't find. I was trying to find like Cody's Bullet Club T-shirt, the person they had, and I was trying to find it. I couldn't find it. Next thing you know, I turned around. So he's like, I got you something. I opened the bag and I was like, ah, bitch, gonna make me fuck you right on the spot. And I was like, yo, she got me a. Yeah, like an actual Bullet Club T-shirt. That was my very first one. I cherished that shirt. I mean, I fucking lost it because I don't know. First of all, I can't fit in that bitch anymore. Second of all, it's somewhere in my fucking like closet.
Right.
But that T-shirt I love to death, bro. I remember like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever. And you're right, for like a good portion of like what 2015 to like 2019, no 2018, they had the wrestling world by the balls for sure.
Yeah, and it was just, yeah, just many, and obviously I was there for the beginning. Obviously, I think they just celebrated their, was it 11 years, something like that. I don't know. Like
They
Bullet Club's
started.
already been out long for so long. Like I just remember when it started with Devitt, which is in WWE now known as Finn Balor. And like you guys, like if you guys are watching the product right now, you should know that some of these guys from Bullet Club, majority are all in WWE. And I'll just go ahead and name some off. Maybe if you haven't seen them, check it out on your own time because you got some
Tonga,
gems.
Tonga
Yep.
Loa.
AJ Styles, Finn
Mm-hmm.
Balor, Carl, Carl,
Doc
Carl
Gallows,
Anderson.
the Machine Gun, Carl Anders.
Yeah, you just got so many members of Bullet Club now. That's just mad insane. And
Hey, and we can't forget about the most important member of Bullet Club. You know, dog. Remember that promo I would always make fun of?
no, I don't think so.
You remember Cody's promo when he first went over to New Japan?
The FTR one?
Nah. Fuck the revival, but the other
No.
one, like when they were promoting him, when they were like promoting him back then.
Oh,
Remember?
the Kenny, yeah, where he was about Batista.
No. I think because I
I
would
don't
always
know
say the
which one.
promo. Or I think the promo would be like the nut that left them in the dust. They knew me as Dashing and the Prince of Dark Matter, the star that left them in the dust. I think that's when I kind of got more invested into Bullet Club. That was Wrestle Kingdom 11. It was Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada main event, and I remember Cody. That was Cody's debut also in Wrestle Kingdom also. But I did remember last year because last year's at 10. I think you were hyping that up because it was Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ, and I think it was Okada, and it was at Tanahashi, correct?
Yeah, yeah, they were the main
Mm-hmm.
event. Yeah, to me, yeah, it's like I said, that was just wasn't compared to the like WWE. Just my whole thing was Japanese wrestling that I happened to stumble upon, and just even to this day, it's kind of hit a decline.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't watch it as much anymore. But I'm hoping,
Heard
even
that
though I'm
chat? He
not
gave up.
watching. I'm hoping that even though they're not that it's kind of in a decline, that hopefully picks back up to where they left off a couple years ago, and that they managed to bounce back. Because
Hope so.
yeah, Japanese wrestling is definitely one of those top ones that you don't want to see fail, and I think it's one of the best. All right, so damn, we actually went a little bit crazy on this part. So for the next question, I guess, what is like, I guess one thing, because it's kind of like a story we had, especially for high school.
Mm.
Is there any, like, I guess one thing that you would change or do differently, like as far as your time, like in high school?
Like meeting all you hoes, no. I feel like that was something that I actually wanted to do. It's like it kind of opened my
Yes, he's talking to
horizons to
you.
you too, bitch. So like I was saying, bro.
Call me a hoe. I've been offended.
Hey,
I'm not a
hey,
hoe.
but you a good hoe though. You a good one.
I act like one, but I ain't one. Right? There's a
Hey,
difference.
you're one of the good ones though.
Good ones is
That's,
crazy.
they say bad things happen to good people, bro.
Huh? What you
While
mean
I'm
by that, sir?
slowly taking out my meat, dog.
Ain't no way.
Like I said, like meeting all you guys, no, like every single friendship I made, every single like event, no matter what it is, good or bad or downright ugly, I felt like yes, like would I change it? Not necessarily, but like one thing I would change was me like just taking school more serious. That's about it. I thought of it more as a game,
That you did.
and then yeah, that kind of bit me in the ass. But like at the end of the day, like you're like I think it's a conversation me and you had one time. It's like there's not much you can do from it. You can't dwell on it. You can't just like live in the past. You have to live in the moment and just
Right.
move on from it and just try to like live your life as best as you can. Obviously, one thing can't define you forever.
Right, exactly.
And then
And
you like, sorry,
for
go.
us, it's just more, and obviously we'll go ahead and dive it a little bit,
Mm,
because you've been getting probably shit for years, and
mm,
it's just always something we find funny is that I think you had barely started dating this girl
mm,
towards the end of towards the senior year, and
mm.
pretty much it was because of this girl that you kind of didn't care in school, which in the final year, and because of your little blunder when it came time to
Just getting my
graduate.
pee wet, dog.
Yeah, when you were graduating, you didn't graduate because you were too focused on getting some coochie rather than get your diploma.
But I got both though, no matter what.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like obviously you didn't do the ceremony and walk up with the boys. Or like the Go Take 13 up there, and you're over there, standing next to the janitor. Be like, that could have been you, dog. Now you with me. And like passes you a mop, like, all right, here you go. Shift starts in 20. Get ready, bitch.
Just getting bad to the point the janitor's telling you, hey, you should have been there.
Yeah, you should have been there, dog. Now here's
Now
the
See,
you
mop.
with
like
Start
me.
cleaning the bathroom.
I wouldn't really say, like like honestly like when it comes to the whole school aspect, it's not really her fault. It was all mine because I chose not to
No,
take it
yeah,
seriously.
of
It's like
course.
obviously I ain't gonna like yeah I got a girlfriend for the first time. Lust took over mostly, and it was more like I was more concerned about that than it was about school. And then yeah, that kind of fucked me. But at the end of the day, like I said, I wouldn't. It is what it is. I wouldn't change it. It is like
Yeah,
obviously it's a little
Just
a
a
little rough
gag.
patch.
Yeah, just
yeah,
a
just a
little.
gag.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you got your diploma, uh, and look at you now. Now you're engaged, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same bitch too. So basically, like, so it's like, well, honestly, like,
Susie,
it's
if
kind
you're
of the
hearing
whole
this, we're not condoning his behavior.
that is horse shit,
Yeah,
double horse shit. By the way,
yeah. Senior Moscow is actually going to be missing after this podcast. We're not going to be able to have a part two.
nuh-uh, nuh-uh,
No
bullshit.
part two.
Right?
To be continued. We're just going to
To
leave
be
this one.
continued. Cut off mid sentence.
You hear the
My
door
Wi-Fi,
open? What'd
hey,
you say?
Yeah.
hey, my Wi-Fi just was fucking cut last minute right now.
Just cuts
But
to
no,
at.
ow. But no, like saying the whole high school thing. Yes, do I regret not like getting my education down? Yes. Do I regret like everything else after? Like, do I regret everything else? No, really. It is what it is. It just made me the person I am today. Like, if it wasn't for those experiences, I think I never would have. I never would have like
Shaped up.
it never. yeah, shaped up in a more I never would have like blossomed more as a person.
Right.
Like it kind of made me grow up and be like, hey, like obviously like it's kind of stupid, it's kind of dumb what you did, but it kind of does like it's kind of more like of a stepping stone at that point. It's like, hey, like you fucked up. It is what it is. Life continues for you. You won't be the first, no, you won't be the last person to go through this.
Exactly.
And that's the one thing that I've actually kept to myself, especially with stuff like what happens to me or happens to Susie or that happens to like her little sisters. I'm really involved in their life. Would be like if they get in trouble, something happens. I always talk to them, be like, hey, you're not the first thing. You won't be the last person to ever experience stuff like this. Like it is what it is. Take it on the chin. Life continues.
You're
And
right.
just learn from your mistakes.
Yeah, you've definitely grown up over the years. It's like it was just like a minor setback, but at the end of the day,
Mm,
like I said, you got your diploma. And even fast
mm,
forward to today, you're engaged now, soon to be
mm.
married, and you're definitely putting in the work. So you've definitely grown up over the last couple of years, and I think
I
I can
know. I
speak for
fucking hate bills,
everyone when we
dog.
say we're proud of you, man.
You really mean that?
Anyways, a lot. Anyway, let's move on to the next topic at hand because
I knew
this
it was too
is
good to be
in.
true.
So this is a little bit during my break that I was kind of referring to the last episode, I believe, when we came back. This is one of the stories that happened during October, if
Mm.
that you guys were a part of, and we were all together for probably like the first time
Nuh-uh.
in a fat minute.
20
So
bucks
in
on the
October,
fucking drain that day.
so in October, pretty much early in the year, it was announced that we were gonna get brand new. We were gonna get the return of a beloved game called. If you guys ever played it when you guys were little, it's Budokai
Redo the
Tenkaichi
healer?
series,
Oh, yeah.
Dragon
Yeah.
Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z game coming out.
Uh,
It was supposed to be Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi 4,
my
pretty
favorite.
much from the PS2 era.
Yeah.
Crazy game. We pretty much all settled that
Mm-hmm.
we were gonna do
Mm-hmm.
a huge gaming tournament with all our friends, and
Yeah.
we came out like with a cash prize, pretty much close to what almost like
Booty cheeks, you
over
name it,
over
dog.
a
Everything
hundred
on the
bucks.
plate.
Like I don't remember the right amount of money
one
that was on the
one
line.
120, I think. Is that the amount of
Yep.
people that
120
went?
was it?
Yeah,
Yeah, and
And
then
then some Dragon Balls in a box.
yeah, and then
yeah. That
for
was
like
what
second place there was
was
like
that?
a
That was Roman too,
Dragon
right?
Ball
At that
set.
time.
Yeah,
Mm.
Roman had gotten that,
There's some on the
which was
Dragon, but then I mean, why even do that? June's already there.
I'm gonna kill you myself after this show. Anyways, and
I never even
Mosca,
told Roman. He's already killed dog. What's the point of telling him?
Oh no! Already dabbing into it. They're gonna ask for context later. Watch.
Nah, nah,
yeah,
nah,
we're not talking about that. Anyways, so Mosca, so pretty much the whole prize for first place was a championship belt that Mosca had bought, based off the old WWE design. It was a bottle of Don Julio, $120, and
nah.
just kind of bragging rights. And we were all in it. Obviously, there was a winner. I don't know if you guys want to say who the winner of that tournament was.
That bitch boy right there hosting the podcast, Julian. I don't know how. Like, I remember the tournament, and I was like, I shit you not. I think I remember telling Fluffy, "Hey, in this tournament, if I get paired off, if I have to fight Julian first round, I'm cooked. I won't even try. There's no point. I'm gonna
Well,
get filet mignon."
I had even worse luck. I went up against the second strongest dude, and like I got like nothing but salchicha con huevo, dude. I got
Same here,
fucked.
dog. I got puro pito with cheese that I got. So you fucking A. I think like well, I think my first round. I think I played. I think who the fuck did I play?
You played what you call it?
Oh,
The
I think I played one of Roman's friends, some random guy. I think that came along, and then what's it called? Shout out to random guy. And I remember
no
I beat
name.
him. Yeah, everybody beat him, and I was like, oh, cool, ah, era bien verga. And then what's it called? And then all of us advanced. You advanced, the second best player advanced, and then Julian advanced. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, if I have to face Oscar, I think 50-50 toss up,
Yeah.
Right.
and then
No,
like
I get knocked
we
out like second round.
yeah, and then like hey, we ended up pulling the fucking names out of fucking God knows out of fucking hat or some shit, and then like I fucking opened mine, and I was like, oh cool, I think I got number two, and I was like, okay, cool, and then I was hoping to God, I was like, I hope you get fucking one, I hope you get one, and then next thing you fucking know, it's like Julian opens his, And he was like, Mosca. And I was like, fuck. I was like, fuck. He's like, look what I got. He was like, I got you right, bitch. I was like, oh no. And literally, and I think you got, and then I think you got the second strongest person. Oh
Yeah.
no, you didn't. You got eliminated. If I remember, you got eliminated. It was Weiss. Weiss advanced.
Yeah.
And then Weiss got the second strongest person. And I looked at Weiss and we both were like, oh, we're fucking cooked. We're FaceTime ass up, baby girl, because we both are.
I'm in the back just like, you better count your days.
Yeah.
And
So the
literally with
most
Julian.
funniest thing as well in the tournament was just that just to give a little bit of context. So the tournament was the day the game got released officially. So there was a thing, if you pre-order it, you were able to play it 3 days early. Essentially, we were going to make a no rule. Like, we had made a rule that we weren't going to touch the game until the game. Some stuff came up where, we had to unlock some characters and whatnot so we could get a bigger roster. So only the people that, were going to put the consoles at the house, we're going to be able to, unlock the characters because that's what you had to do. So I remember we're like scrapped the idea. We're like, all right, so everybody just start practicing. And the day of the tournament, well, I gave everybody more the benefit of the doubt because I think 2 or 3 matches in, and it was just might have been cockiness or, but I just remember 2 matches in just of practicing. I was like, I got the mechanics down. I think I'm good. So I'm not gonna touch the game till the day of the tournament. That was like on the first day. So day of the tournament comes. I'm going through everybody. I'm like just running a train on them, not losing any matches really.
Damn.
Yeah, you heard me running trains on you guys, and
Damn,
so
dog.
Leeds pretty much beat Mosca, make my way to the finals, and it's the guy that's the other best. So if there was 2 strong contenders for the tournament, it was me and the other guy, which was Roman's barber. His name is Lucas, which got second place. I was thinking, and Roman was hyping him up pretty good because I remember I think he sent me a video one day. This was like the night before.
He was
Like, he
glazing
sent
the
me a
fuck
video.
out of him.
He sent Roman a video where he was in an online lobby and he had said he had like 12 wins in a row and he made everybody in the lobby rage quit.
Damn.
And I was in that mentality, I haven't even touched the game again since I tried it the first day because I was like that meme was like, I understand it now. I understand it now. So
I'm him.
I was like,
I'm
yeah. So
him.
I was like, so once I saw that, I was like, he's gonna be my competition. Let me run it. And perfect enough, we run into each other at the finals. He did not win a single match.
That fool got fucking mollywopped,
He
dog.
got
That fool was fit to kill your bitch.
and
We
oh
were all
man, I
Yeah,
was
surprised at the
just so
outcome.
disappointed.
made him sweat, bro. It was that bad.
Yeah, he did not
You're
win a
like, I'm not
single
even
match.
trying.
Yeah, and I don't know, it just killed it, and to the point where I'm like, all right, so there's a picture. I'll probably put it up on screen, or I'll probably put it on the post by the time the episode goes live. First and second place, which is me and Lucas. And anyways, so I remember
You're
just
also
feeling
gonna post a
so.
picture of you, butt booty, naked with the belt on?
Oh yeah, I did say if I won the belt, I was gonna take a picture of butt booty naked, and I did, and I shared it to everyone. So they have that picture. I don't know if
I
I'm
can
gonna
never
put it
see
on the
that picture,
post,
bro.
but
Also, you gotta put a link of Julian's OnlyFans.
yeah, my
Right there,
OnlyFans.
man.
It'll be premium content. So if you guys want to check out that butt booty naked, booty
Fuck
picture
it,
of the
hey,
belt covering
only
my
salchicha,
junk.
bro.
Yeah. But yeah, I just remember I was like, I feel satisfied from this, and like I had the belt, and like especially for Mosca because he had bought the belt, and he was like, "All right, we're gonna be making this like into a whole thing where winner defends their belt whenever we do tournaments like
Winner
these,
take all.
and,
Winner,
which
winner
is
take
still
all.
still in my room.
Mm.
The belt's still in my room, and
I don't want it back, by
and
the
I
way.
just
You can keep it.
and I just remember.
Oil
I just
residue.
remember, like, I just told everyone, like, hey, is it okay if I just do a gauntlet with all you guys? So, like, I just play you one-on-one? And they didn't really want to play because they just all felt defeated. But they're like, fuck it, why not? Same, I run the gauntlet, I beat everybody once again. And that was just kind of it. They're like, I think it was already close, 2 in the morning, Fluffy?
Yeah,
And then
close
Ron's like,
about.
hey, you guys want to
And
get ice
then
cream?
yeah, the munchies were kicking in hard at that time,
Yeah, I
bro.
think, like, we were already eating. And then it was, like, 2 in the morning, we're just chilling. And it's like, do you guys want to get ice cream? So we literally went to, like, 7-Eleven.
It was just a random
Ice cream.
request too. He's like, ice cream?
Yeah, and we're like, yeah, fuck it,
Hey,
let's
yo,
go.
by the way,
Yeah, fuck it.
shout out to Roman's wife for making them sliders. They were fucking schmacky, ain't gonna lie.
Oh yeah,
I only had
yeah,
one, so
definitely.
I can't say.
I had like
Yeah,
2 or
definitely.
3 of them, and then
Uh,
Wait, whoever the fuck bought the pizza, dog. And by the way, buy like 3 more boxes, dog. What the fuck? Well, we'll
We
fucking ration it
we
here or
only
some shit,
finished
dog.
like one and a half. Everyone was more focused on the game.
Oh yeah, I forgot you
Oh,
bought them. Hey, we ration out here or some shit, dog.
Yeah, we're rationing out here, dog. So I drink more of the beers, if anything.
Their cervecias were gone by the end of the night. I know that much.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Even though they sucked, I drank some.
Yeah, so that was definitely fun. And
Love you, Roman. Just I like the beer.
yeah.
It was alright.
Yeah. Yeah, so the tournament was
I've had better at
definitely
school
a.
cafeteria.
Yeah, I'm sure you have.
Stealing
You would
it.
know. But the tournament was definitely a lot of fun. And I'm sure probably when the next
Damn.
game, whenever we decide another tournament, I'm sure that much more craziness is going to ensue. And probably that belt that I have is probably going to be on the line somehow. So. All right. So with us discussing the Sparking Zero tournament, do you have like any favorite moments from the tournament, Fluffy?
Minus me losing. I'd probably say because when I watched you and Lucas, think battle out on the last round, that was probably the
Hmm.
most intense. I would say what it was. It was kind of like crazy because you guys were both going at it. It's like it's almost like
All right. So due to some technical difficulties, we all
Yeah,
ended
fuck
up
Cox.
we ended up getting cut off at the last very second, but we're back now, and pretty much. So I think that was it. Pretty much talk about the Sparking Zero tournament, and on that note, that's pretty much the final question for this episode, and it's a question I ask every guest on the show. Pretty much, I guess, what is your destino? Like, what is your main goal that? What is your
Honestly,
main
what?
goal that you're trying to achieve?
That's a good question. That's a good question. If anything, I'll get back to you in like 65 business days. If anything on that question, that's a good one, dog. That's a good
65
question.
business days, bro.
Yeah, it's around that time, dog. Honestly, like for me, I just play day by day. Honestly, I really don't have like my final destino is to like actually make it somewhat, and like actually, more or less just try to find something that best suits me, even if that's securing or or basically retail. It don't matter. Like honestly, for me, I just want to find something that I'm really passionate about, and more like I'm starting to realize like that is more what's more. It's like how do you say it? It's my new job. Because even my new job, I went into it trying to work in retail. I think me and Fluffy went to the interviews together. You remember?
yeah, that one was fun. Very.
It was interesting. And not even that with this new job that I got, it kind of like keeps me on my toes. Like anything can happen at any given moment. You have people who are having seizures, strokes, like like parents being like parents losing their kids, so I got to go find them around the park and stuff like that. And it's just, and I get to work on reports. I get to work with PD sometimes with like certain cases, whatever happens. Like, hey, we have certain people who are stealing, blah 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 blah. But it kind of opened my eyes into the world of like of like being a security guard, and I'm like, I kind of like it. It's interesting. Every day is different. Every day is unique.
Oh, okay. That is Is there anything else you want to add? Like, I guess where do you like? Is that something you will really want to do now? It's like that you've been venturing that you want to be doing more in security
Yeah, I think my
besides Lego.
yeah, I mean it's fun and all down there, but it's like I more or less just a little stepping stone. Everyone thinks because I already a couple people already leave,
Hmm.
and they like half of them already doing that shit in TSA and whatnot. They just progress because they already know for a fact they already have the background history and everything. They can go somewhere else that pays them more money.
Right, right, right.
Like I have one of my guys with me. He's like, "Oh, it's like, yeah, I'm leaving by like March." I'm like, "Where are you going?" Again, he's working in the San Diego airport. I'm like, "Oh, cool." He's like, "Yeah, I already have
TSA.
all the skills and all the knowledge." Yeah, he's like, "I already have all the skills and all the knowledge to do this shit."
Damn, that's awesome. Well, on that note,
Hmm.
We're going to go ahead and wrap this episode before we continue to get any more technical difficulties. I just want to say a big thank you to you for joining us this week on the show.
Thank
So
you for having me, though.
for everyone, give my boy a big fat round of applause.
Yeah, clap your cheeks at me. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
Clap your hands. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. There we go.
yeah,
There we go, my boy. Thank you, and thank you to you, Fluffy,
yeah.
for
Blow me a kiss.
joining me and being co-host. Like I said, it's going to be great to have you around, especially for the next couple weeks as we get these other interviews and more crazy moments on the show lined up. Especially
Yes,
heading into
sir.
2025, we're going to be popping off. So, yeah, definitely keep the lookout for the announcements.
Mm.
The podcast this week is, and from then on, again, will be available on Spotify and YouTube. Video version on YouTube and
Sponsored
audio
by Blue
version on
Chew.
Spotify.
Honey
Yeah.
Pat too, by the way. Royal honey. Royal honey.
Yeah, right.
Not FDA approved.
FDA
But
approved honey packs. Yeah, that's going to be
like,
the Dreamer
if I could say, like,
Chidestino exclusive honey packs.
if I could say one more thing before we like put this shit in a bow and throw it under the tree,
Hmm.
um, like, but honestly, like, it's probably gonna be like, could be a little off topic, maybe not, but I just wanted to say, like, I'm really proud of you, big dog. Like, honestly, like, I've known you for so long. I know for a fact, like, you're somebody, like, when you're passionate about one thing, you stick to it 110%, and you give it your all, no matter what. Even if it means like, hey, this is my last dime, but fuck it, I need to do this. I'm gonna do it. And that's the one thing that I even told Susie too. It's the same thing that both of you guys have that makes me want to be a better person because of both of you guys. Because I know for a fact that you both have faced challenges, and like things like, oh fuck, it's I don't know if I'm be able to make it out alive. But I don't know how you both find a way to get out of it. You both like end up like striving 110% no matter what. Same goes for Fluffy too. I've seen both you guys down in the trenches, and honestly, like I really hope that you guys make this shit pop. I wish nothing but the best for this channel. Hopefully, in months, I'm gonna see you guys like interviewing like higher class people, even if it means like former wrestlers, people in bands, you name it, it don't matter. Like sky's the limit.
Yep.
A celebrity or so called, it don't matter. I just wish you guys nothing but the best in this venture you guys are both gonna do. And if you ever need a third body, but if not, it's all right. So, but still, dog. But yeah, like I'm saying, like I really appreciate you bringing me here on your platform to so I could talk about my story, even though, it was like I was told you, I'm not the most interesting person in the world, but we do have our own stories here and there. That some people like I didn't even know that about them.
Yeah, of course. And it's always,
Yeah.
learning experience, and everybody learns something new every day. So even, like I said, this whole show's now like about bringing everyone together. Different backgrounds, different stories that they have to tell and whatnot. It's just, we're all here for the ride. And, it's only going to continue heading into 2025. And, at least you're going to be in what looks like to be the final episodes of 2024. So, I mean, you definitely, everyone that's been on the show before you, and even up to the point of you being here, you guys have all made a great impact onto the show. And, it's that same energy we're going to keep taking into account for 2025, especially as we go. We get better and stronger for the show. Especially, like I said, this is on the video portion that you guys are checking out on YouTube. This is going to be the first, like, official, because before I was just doing it on green screen and whatnot, but now, as we're upgrading, now we're actually on new software, which you can see on the screen for yourself, which is pretty sweet. And yeah, we're all very excited to be a part for this ride. So entonces, yeah, like I said, huge thank you to you and huge thank you to Fluffy. So it's been a lot of work, and it's continued to be a lot of work, but it's definitely going to pay off, and we got something to work for towards next year.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, if there's anything you want to say, Fluffy, where people can find you on your socials, or anything you want to say regarding
Your OnlyFans, stuff like that.
you joining,
Your
plans for
Fansly,
next
whatever it's
year.
called.
Yeah.
Yeah, regarding for
Um,
next year.
Probably most likely my Instagram. It'll probably be posted in the final products that are. You guys
Yeah,
can find
definitely.
me
We'll put it in the show
on
notes, and
that.
then on the post we'll definitely post your page details, so that way everyone
Yeah.
knows where to find you.
Hey, but,
And
but if anything, post that one picture of you with the midget with the jelly bean on. That's like the best photo because
ain't no way.
No, we're keeping that under the reps.
Yeah, that's only that's for the OnlyFans, bro. Yeah,
oh,
so
oh
yeah,
damn, OnlyFans. Like, hey, Munchie meals are accepted, by the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that
no,
too. Our Munchie Meal adventures. Hopefully, checking the box. Be hey,
I
let's
think
do
we
it right
are.
there.
I think we
hey,
might have a new
sponsor
story with
me.
the three of us, or with
Throw
the
a
three of us
couple
pretty
my
soon.
way. Yeah.
Still
I
a
think if
special.
anything, right now, I think me and Julian are planning a trip. We're trying to get all the boys involved and hopefully we can chime about the story when we do go. I think we're either debating like either going to Los Angeles or going to where down the street from our house, the new stadium they built down here in Ocean's Head.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
So we
definitely.
might go see it. Yeah, we're gonna go to like we're for sure going to AEW. It's another company, but yeah, we're gonna try to make the trip. We don't know which one, even if it's both or just one. But there's gonna be a story to tell for both, for all of our perspectives.
No, you're definitely right, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like I said, it's this kind of energy we're gonna be carrying into the next year. So plenty of more stories that are gonna be told, and many more people we're gonna be blessed to meet and hear their stories and just start this process all over again. Because this show started in like February or March. See, it's like almost about to be a year since the show. So the fact that we're still running, shit, it just proves that people are still sticking by even after this kind of break. With the car accident and all the craziness going down, but now we're back in full force and carrying into next year. Yeah, we're definitely gonna do a lot better and gonna be a lot more announcements coming up too. So yeah, definitely keep updated on the Dreamer to Destino socials. So YouTube Dreamer to Destino, Instagram same thing, Dreamer to Destino all together. Obviously, we're not on Facebook yet. Something we're probably gonna look into the future, but for now, it's just IG, YouTube, and Spotify. So other than that, we'll go ahead and wrap up the show. Thank you guys again for joining us. Until then, hasta luego. Adios.